Okay, welcome to Beyond Wellness, Beauty Meets Generational Changes. So this is the second of 4 episodes that we will have in this post-pandemic series. So in the first webinar, we talked about the major themes and trends that will dominate in 2021. But before we dive in, you may notice that we have a different setup.
Yes, that's right, Jackie. Now we're live from the lab. As many people are trying to move into a post-COVID-19 world, some companies are returning to work in a hybrid style. So here at TriK, we wanted to have a little live interaction, feeling, a little bit more normal. But Jackie, most of the R&D teams really never stopped working. They really never shut down. My team, for example, they've been here the entire time. And of course, making sure that we're safe and following the CDC guidelines.
So your team has really been a rock star. Everyone in the lab here at TriK has really been a rock star. So as we go through the webinar, please feel free to submit questions in the Q&A box. And if we have time, we'll get to them while we're chatting. So for the next 30 minutes or so, please sit back and relax while we chat about wellness in the beauty and personal care industry. As a reminder, we'll be sending out the recording of the video and a PDF of the presentation early next week, so be on the lookout. So my name is Jackie. I'll be one of your hosts for today, and I am the marketing lead here at TriK, and I've been paying close attention to the latest trends, consumer insights, and changes in the industry, and I'm excited to be here with my co-host, Carolina.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where you are in the world. Thank you for joining. My name is Carolina Denman. I'm the Senior Innovation Manager here at TriK, and I'm happy to be co-hosting another webinar with Jackie. We have a lot of information that we can't wait to share it with you.
So we're excited to chat today about different generations and how they're navigating their wellness journeys. So when we go to the goals slide, we'll be chatting about self-love, the effects of stress, and menopause. So we're looking forward to navigate you through consumer behavior, market trends, and product solutions as we look toward a brighter future. So Carolina, I wanted to ask you a question. What does wellness mean to you?
Okay, so wellness has been an ongoing trend now for a while, and everyone really has overlooked at this trend and what it really means. I think since last year when the pandemic started, the word wellness became such an important part of who we are. The wellness trend is now and it has become really a lifestyle. And to answer your question, Jackie, really, it's to me, it's really more like a mindset, taking and keeping my priorities in check. Taking care of my kids, balancing my work, taking care of my family, eating healthy, and of course, taking care of me.
Right.
How about you, Jackie?
So when I think about wellness, I think about being happy and healthy. So it's about taking care of your physical health, your mental health. It's all about peace and harmony. So not only, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Not everything's going to be perfect, but it's all about, feeling good. And I know that when I feel good, I feel balanced. And when all the pieces that make me work together, I feel like I have a stable foundation and I can really, conquer whatever is thrown my way.
So what do you think wellness to an organization in our industry really means?
Sure. So, wellness can mean a lot of things to a lot of different companies, right? But here at TriK, we're always discussing protecting and repairing those building blocks of hair and skin. So we often talk about how we can help consumers with rejuvenation and managing stress and just an overall balance of skin and hair. So when they look good, they feel good, working from the outside in and the inside out. So now let's talk about the generations that we'll be discussing. So first, we're going to talk about Gen Z. So they're between the ages of 12 and 26 years old. Digitally native Gen Z consumers are used to having information right at their fingertips. They don't know a life without screens. And on average, Gen Z spends more than 11 hours on their phones during the week. They often look for connections with their peers, right? So they're busy on social media, Facebook, Instagram, now of course TikTok,
they spend more than 11 hours a week.
Yeah, I
but
feel like that was a little.
it's a little bit low, but yeah, probably it is. Okay, so now let's talk about millennials. So millennials are between the ages of 27 and 41 years old. Tech-savvy millennials have quickly mastered the reality of telecommuting and using apps to track their health needs. But this generation is the work hard, play hard generation. They want to do it all.
Mhm.
They want to get promoted, they want to party, they want to travel, they want to meditate, socialize, work out, raise children, all while working long hours, checking their email on evenings, weekends, and holidays. And they're also very active on social media. Millennials are the new hashtag hustle culture. They're very career focused. They do take pride of what they do, but they are really struggling with, life balance, self-care, and life-work balance.
Yeah. And then when we talk about Gen X, they're between the ages of 42 and 56 years old. Members of this generation generally have higher incomes and hold decision-making power in most households and companies. They're becoming more tech savvy and are often looking for ways to maintain an overall healthy lifestyle.
So, Jackie, I'm seeing one question here
Sure.
From Brian. Hi, Brian. It says, can you shed some light on baby boomers?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have some research here on baby boomers. So they're between the ages of 57 and 76 years old. So this generation was told that they were at highest risk for the virus, right? So they were really urged to stay home last year in 2020, even now as well. But as a group, baby boomers have historically been less willing to embrace the internet, but now they kind of have no choice. Now that they're not socializing, they're not going grocery shopping, they're kind of using the internet to get things like that done. So they're embracing digital services more than ever before. But even though all these generations are different, they're looking for different things. Let me show you what we all have in common. So I found this graph on Vice. I wanted to share it with you. So it shows what is important to consumers before COVID and how much it has grown now that we're coming out of the pandemic. So more than 4,000 people in more than 30 countries around the world were surveyed, and emotional well-being remains number one before and after. But the biggest growth came from physical well-being and financial well-being.
Yeah, I am not really surprised to see an increase of the importance of physical well-being by 15% last year. I think this data really is applicable to millennials. If you are an older millennial like me, you may have kids or you're about to start a family, but you're managing so much in your life and so much during this time than somebody who's just starting the workforce or is looking, counting their years to retirement. I think that during this period, and again, this is between 27 and 41, everyone's life has a lot of milestones, getting married, purchasing a home, having kids, moving in with your boyfriend, being physically capable and energized to multitask. It is important.
Yeah, absolutely. So I found a quote about Gen Z, and I wanted to share it with you. So the Gen Z consumer cares about individuality. They want things that work for them as an individual and their unique lives.
Yeah, Gen Z are really the most racial and ethically diverse generation in the United States. For the first time in history, about 48% of the Gen Zs are not white. Yeah, so this is really good.
Yeah, it's amazing to see all that diversity. And that goes back to the first episode where we talked about consumers wanting more diversity in their advertising and for their representatives for all brands. Gen Z is very accepting of each other. They're very unapologetically themselves. So next I wanted to show you some of the research that I found. So Gen Z is all about embracing their individuality and taking care of themselves. 72% of Gen Zers say managing stress and mental health is the most important health and wellness concern. 80% of Gen Z says being yourself is the phrase that best fits their personal definition of beauty. So it's not about having perfect skin. It's not about having a certain type of hair. Beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, and Gen Z fully embraces that. Lastly, over a third of Gen Z know someone who prefers to be referred to using gender-neutral pronouns. So that's the they, them instead of the he, she.
Yeah, I think we're going to see an increase of neutral pronouns from here. I think acceptance is really moving across from the Gen Zs to all generation. Another big quality of Gen Zs is that it's really not a surprise to everybody, considering that they grew up in the technology world. They don't remember a life without internet, laptops, cell phones. So the internet really became their playground. You know, this is where their knowledge from beauty and health, this is also the place where they get creative. And actually, I think I have a quote here. It says that, 88% of the Gen Zs are saying creative expression really helps them feel less anxious. And, with lockdown, we're being locked down, really this pushed a lot of beauty companies to really work with influencers to really experiment and push boundaries on social media.
I actually love that stat. So being creative and doing what you love, being passionate about something is really a great way to reduce stress. And, when we look at Gen Z, they are all about remaining healthy. So I have some more stats about Gen Z. So Gen Zers have fully embraced the internet and research, like you said, to find what works for them, what they're looking for. As consumers look to their health and wellness, superfoods remain popular, with natural beauty still on the rise. Consumers are trending towards old wisdom, enlightened by modern understanding, driven by a combination of nostalgia and trust. So not only are Gen Zers teaching older generations to be unapologetically themselves, but they're also learning from us as well and taking what we know to embrace in their lives.
Yeah, I think I was reading this article on Real Simple and talking about what the health foods and the trends for 2021. So experts are projecting that by the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, the food industry will bring an increased focus on ditching the fad diets, embracing mindful eating habits. So listening to your body, what your body is telling you. But of course, like foods like quinoa and hemp are really going to be ingredients of the future. And they've been here for a while, but now we're gonna see a little more push in the year 2022.
Sure. So also I wanted to point out that Gen Z shoppers in the US are 20% more likely to use than millennials to use all natural products. So that means, millennials are more here, there with their natural products. Gen Zers want their whole regimen to be natural. Also, I found another really awesome stat. So vegan beauty and personal care launches more than doubled in the 5 years between 2013 and 2018, growing by 175%.
So how old were Gen Zers in 2013 then?
So the oldest Gen Zer had turned 18 years old in 2013.
All right. So that makes sense because, when you're 18, you're either moving out to college, you're having more financial freedom, you're starting to work. So you're really making life choices for you and what makes sense for you and what fits your lifestyle.
Right. And they're learning from their peers. So if they went off to college, if they're starting, a job, they're meeting new people in all walks of life. So they're learning from them and really trying to figure out, how different lifestyles, how they can incorporate those things into their lives.
Yeah. So I think that for a formulator or a company who's looking to target all these generations, I think it's important to understand the opportunity of vegetable replacements as part of wellness. So here's our famous Colaplant Z MPNF. This is our vegetable replacement to animal collagen. We launched this product last year, and we absolutely love it. I think these ingredients, some of the benefits, are fortifies your skin barrier to give you maximum protection to your skin. It improves your skin moisturization. It smooths and rejuvenates your skin. The key of this ingredient is hydrolyzed soy protein, rice amino acid, hydrolyzed Adansonia digitata seed extract, and L-proline. So what we did in our lab is we were able to mimic the amino acid composition with a blend of these wonderful ingredients. And not only that, but we were also able to match the sensory profile of animal-based hydrolyzed collagen. So this ingredient is rich on glycine, proline, glutamic acid, and lysine, very important to create collagen formation and build that collagen that your body needs. Also, we conducted a sensory evaluation. You can see it on the screen, where we did it on a 10-point scale, where uniform film, tackiness, greasiness, smoothness, moisturization, after feel, shine. And you can see that really it's very close in terms of sensory evaluation too. So we were able to also match the amino acid composition, then also match the sensory profile. But in our clinical study here, we wanted to test also how does it performs. Mm-hmm. And we can see on the results that we see actually it performs better than animal collagen, and we're seeing an increase on moisturization and better performance.
So Carolina, is this product good for both men and women?
Oh, absolutely. All our technologies we reviewed today are great for men and women in every generation.
Okay, so that was a great snapshot of Gen Z, but now let's move into our generation with millennials. So I found a quote for this section as well, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it as a fellow millennial. So millennials are far more interested in beauty as an extension of self-care. So they are looking to holistic approaches, taking care of their bodies and health to achieve a beauty ideal, and seeking out natural products that work with their skin.
Okay, before I give my comment, I think we have Julia. Hi, what is the formulation sensory material? Well, actually, there was no formulation. This was actually the hydrolyzed protein versus our cola plant and PNF. If we could go back one slide. So this is the actual material. It's not really the formulation. It's how the performance of the hydrolyzed collagen, animal collagen, really compares to our ingredients. So this is the pure material in a sense. Then let's go back. Thank you, Ali. So we have Ali here helping us, guys. Millennials, do embrace quality, embrace their downtime, but because they're so busy, it's more of a quality versus quantity. As millennials have always demanded flexibility and more creative workspaces, and now since most people are working from home, this is creating a blur line because they have it all in one place. So I think they're really relying on digital and fitness apps to guide them. And I'm guilty of that. I don't know how many of you have downloaded a lot of apps like keto apps or counting your carbs or exercising.
Or meditation apps. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So that's an excellent point, Carolina. And we're actually going to talk about that topic of drawing the line in the sand between work and home when you're working from home in our next webinar on indulgence. So millennials are known for being one of the most stressed out generations.
Not surprised there.
And here are some stats that I found. So in the US, 96% of millennials say a burnout affects their everyday life. Nearly 74% of millennials in Britain are so stressed out that they're unable to cope. So they're really looking to de-stress. Now, on a more global level, 61% of people would recommend a brand with a time-saving proposition. So in the beginning of last year, people were taking more time for themselves. They were trying out different products. They were seeing what works for them. But now people are looking to kind of get back to normal. And back to normal is saving time, saving money.
Right. Jackie, I see here, I see another question.
Okay.
How about men's segments and how do they match women?
Okay, perfect. I love that question. So yes, men are looking for different things than women based on their needs, but personal care and wellness are just as important to men. So when you look at the global market for men grooming products, by 2024, it's expected to be worth $81 billion. The percentage of male beauty consumers now link beauty and wellness together. That's 75% of men believe that. Also, 28% of men are now, you go up a little bit, are 20% of men are saying that they sleep longer because now they don't have to commute to work, right? 22% are exercising more and 19% are eating healthier meals.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So now everyone in every generation deals with stress, right? But millennials seem to kind of be in a class by themselves. So here is some stats that I found on millennials. So millennial financiers are set to be the worst affected by COVID-19. Over 3/4 of this generation globally are already feeling the economic impact of the crisis, the highest percentage across all demographics. So now, Carolina, can you talk about how stress physically manifests within our appearance through our hair and our skin?
Yes. So I was trying to look a lot of articles to be, to really understand how the effect. So I found this medical journal. It's called Brain Skin Connection, Stress, Inflammation, and the Skin Agent. So I'm just going to read this because there's a lot of information here. But it says recent studies have shown that psychological stress can influence cutaneous barrier function, suggesting that this form of stress could trigger or aggravate skin disease. When you're stressed out, your skin, specifically the stratum corneum, plays important barrier functions by regulating epidermal permeability and homeostasis. This protein lipid barrier creates a surface seal essential for maintenance of hydration and protection against microbial infection. Disruption of the skin barrier function can lead to flaky or dry skin. So increased stress really affects how your skin functions. And this can lead to damage and accelerated aging in the form of wrinkles, lines, and pigmentation.
So I have some facts that I'd like to share as well. The majority of US women, at 75%, say that stress affects their sense of feeling beautiful. So when they're stressed, they feel like they don't look good. Also, in May of 2020, which was 2 months into the pandemic, 80% of US consumers agreed that taking care of their hair and their skincare needs reduced stress. So it was self-care to them. So for formulators, how can they take this information to make products that will help reduce stress? How can we help millennials, relax?
Well, I think to answer your question, so I think definitely sensorial performance and fun textures are really important. I don't think anybody's going to buy something that feels yucky or smells bad, but I think that particularly for wellness, we really need to capture, what is important to the consumer now. And I think is what kind of ingredients are you choosing to protect your skin? What ingredients are really soothing your skin, are helping with your stress? So, this ingredient is absolutely amazing. This is our Hemp Z MPNF. This is our hydrolyzed cannabis sativa seed extract. Hemp seed is made from recycled biomass from the hemp seeds of the cannabis sativa plant, which is created during the extraction process of the hemp oil. So if anybody's looking for upcycle, sustainable products, this is a really good option. This ingredient is organically sourced and is water soluble, CBD and THC free. I know this is a big concern for a lot of our people who are using with cannabis, and there's a little bit of taboo there, but this is CBD and THC free. You don't have to worry about that. One of the main benefits is really it restores epidermal homeostasis, leaving your skin vibrant, healthy. It enhances the skin moisturization and barrier strengthening properties. It also is calming, soothing, and it restores your skin immunity. So the study here on the left, there's a clinical study done on improvement on the skin moisturization. Here we use a placebo lotion with 2% Hemp Z, and it was used twice a day for 5 days. Hemp Z increased moisturization and it boosts uniformity for more vibrant and rejuvenated appearance, we love it. Also, but Hemp Z does not only work on skin, it also works on hair, which is like a 2-in-1. Sometimes you have to find different products that work for your hair only or for your skin only. Now you have one that works across the board.
And that goes with that time-saving proposition, right?
Absolutely, especially for somebody who's looking to create a holistic form of formulation. So, this ingredient really increases, and Hemp on the hair, only a 1% increases elasticity, healthier, more resilient hair. You can see on the picture on the right how the picture with Hemp Z, the cuticles look softer and smoother, after chemical damage. And again, this is only using 1% of this ingredient.
So Carolina, I see a question coming in here. What is skin homeostasis?
I know we get that question a lot. So we're laughing, Joe, because we always get this question. I know this is kind of, for some people, this is a new term, but just something to remember, very simple. Homeostasis in the epidermis is the first line of defense against any potential damage from the environment or external aggressors. Homeostasis is the key element of maintaining healthy epidermis. So normal skin homeostasis means that your skin looks more uniform and harmonious.
Excellent, excellent answer. So now we come to the next generation. So this is a generation who is going through many changes, right? And I have another quote to start with. So many people do not understand menopause, and it's really up to women to sort of take control of their own health and ask doctors, push doctors for more information and make sure they are getting the right facts.
Can I stop you there 1 second?
Yeah.
I think I have some more questions, but I cannot open it. So hold on. Let me just answer. Give me 1 second. So I answer live. I have to click here, right? So it's done. Give me 1 second. I want to see. Okay, you're welcome, Julia, I think. Okay, so, oh, here. There was a question from Mark. A lot of talk about younger generation. Any thoughts about an older menopausal woman? We're right here, Mark. So I am gonna click. This is done. Okay. Oh yes, vamos a mandar la charla en español después de la grabación. That was for Carlos, okay? So I answered that in Spanish. So I'm just gonna close here. It is done. Okay, so now there's no more questions, so okay, we can continue. Oh, hold on, let me make sure on the questions too, there's no more questions. Okay, so does hemp team perform better than protein in hair? No, I mean, it performs wonderful. I mean, hemptine, hemptine, it is a protein. Mm-hmm. So it performs wonderfully. So, and then the molecular size, I think is less than 800 microns, but I will confirm that after, after the meeting. And this is, I can't really see who is sent this question, but okay. All right, I think we're good. I think we can continue. Okay. So sorry, Jackie, for interrupting.
No, that's totally fine. Totally fine. So what do you think about this quote?
Oh, I mean, it's, you know, I think that a lot of women are just, you know, it's right.
For that information.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get into some of the stats about menopause. So this will answer your question, Mark. So did you know that every day in America, 6,000 women reach menopause?
That's crazy. That's a lot of women.
A lot. Also, and this stat is amazing. 91% of menopausal consumers have never seen any targeted marketing towards their needs. 91%. That's huge.
That's a big.
That is huge. And then when we look at, you know, the symptoms of menopause, 84% of US women say that menopausal symptoms interfere with their life, while 12% say that symptoms interfere a great deal.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see a lot of brands targeting this market. Mm-hmm. This is a great opportunity for companies to extend their inclusiveness. Women are approaching middle age with a more positive spirits than previous generations, but they're also navigating more challenges. As celebrities help to rebrand menopause and open up discussions of midlife health, new wellness solutions are springing up for more supportive communal forums showing women what changes they have to go through, and you know, they don't need to do it alone anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, I know this is a conversation that's been a taboo subject for a long time, but you know, the more women start talking about it, the less it's going to become one. You know, it's going to happen to every woman. Mm-hmm. So we should be able to be prepared and ready to move forward, you know, without being in such a taboo subject.
Right, exactly. So on the next slide, we wanted to talk about some concerns, but first I wanted to go over the stages of menopause. So there's the perimenopause, which is the premenopause, there's menopause itself, and then there's the postmenopause. So the perimenopause stage is responsible for the majority of symptoms. That includes your hot flashes, your changes in mood, your changes in skin and hair also take place. Now, the perimenopause stage can last between 7 and 14 years.
It's a long time.
That's a long time, right? Now, yeah. Menopause is a point in time 12 months after a woman's last menstrual cycle. The skin is thinner, it's drier, it's losing that firmness and elasticity, and that's where, you know, wrinkles start to form more often. Hair can also become dull and thin. Then by postmenopause, the hormone levels are lower, the symptoms mostly stop, but women are in this stage are at risk for other things like heart disease and osteoporosis. Now, when women in these stages were asked about their definition of health, mental well-being, feeling good in the absence of disease came out on top, while the definition of beauty was looking healthy. This suggests that holistic wellness, so that's incorporating your mind, your body, are important to these women in these stages.
Yeah. So here are, some skin concerns for women over 40. So in terms of, for skin, in terms of fine lines, women over 60, that's a major concern, but it seems to be a concern also across the board from between 40, 50, and 60. I think the biggest concern from women over 60 is really wrinkles. I think that's a concern from all of us, but definitely more for people over 60. Then moving into hair concerns, we're seeing that the biggest concern for women over 60 is also graying hair. I already started with my gray hair, but over 60, I think that the concern gets higher. The same thing as lack of hair volume and thinning hair.
Now we're going to get into your favorite product. Go
Yes,
ahead.
yes, this is my absolutely, favorite product. But I want to make sure that we have some other questions. Let me see. Over 60, cherry. Yes, over 60, uneven skin tone also. It is a concern, and I think it's more hyperpigmentation.
Yeah.
Let me see. Do we have any more questions? Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Great. Thank you. Gracias, Carlos. There's a comment here that he really likes the discussion. So thank you very much. Okay. So let's get into hemp Hyaluronic 7 now. So this is absolutely my favorite product. We were able to do this in our lab here, right here. This is where we made it. Hyaluronic is an optimized ratio of 7 unique molecular weights of sodium hyaluronate. This is a multifunctional active, providing immediate moisturization to the skin in as little 30 minutes, while offering a long-term moisturization of 24 hours. So it's great. Single application, 30 minutes, it lasts for about 24 hours. It really smooths, softens the skin. It increases your skin moisturization, firmness, and elasticity. All these things that we need. And also, the best part is it provides a lubricious and softer after feel. I love this product. Absolutely.
So now, can you talk about why skin needs different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid?
Yes. As we all know, each molecular weight of sodium hyaluronate provides a different biological role in the skin. And because of this reason, we created the perfect ratio combination of this ingredient because it contains lower, medium, and higher molecular weight. And this really provides a different type of biological role and benefit on the skin. It is reported in literature that low molecular weight of sodium hyaluronate is known to penetrate the stratum corneum and the epidermis, and that with continuous use, you will boost and ensure enhanced moisturization in the deeper layers of the skin. On the other hand, the medium and high molecular weight creates a uniform film. It does not penetrate the surface, so it stays on your skin, but what it's doing is creating a protective film. It's reducing the water loss to prevent your skin from getting dry. So it really enhances the barrier function. So this is like sort of an inside and outside type of mechanism. That's why this ingredient is so great. So now let's get into some pictures here. So the first slide here is on the skin texture. You can see how Hyaluronic 7 visibly improves the skin appearance in only 30 minutes after a single application. And of course, like I said before, it maintains your skin hydrated for 24 hours. And you can see in the pictures that said Hyaluronic how the skin is really looking smoother from the bed in comparison to the placebo. So this is great.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how much smoother the skin is after the use of Hyaluronic 7.
Yeah, so let me get into one more study because I think this is really important for people to understand the benefits of Hyaluronic 7. This was an ex vivo study where we analyzed the depth, penetration potential in the stratum corneum on the skin. We use a Caucasian female donor volunteer, 35 years old, and we took measurements on Hyaluronic solution versus untreated skin. We use tape stripping to calculate the depth penetration profile in the stratum corneum. The gray bar represents the hyaluronic acid content present on untreated skin, which we use here as a control. And the blue bar represents the ex vivo skin portion treated with Hyaluronic 7. As you can observe clearly, Hyaluronic 7 is able to increase the hyaluronic acid content in our skin by 134%. And the results, of course, are statistically significantly better versus the untreated skin. So truly, the study demonstrates the fantastic ability, the powerful technology, and unique technology to deliver moisturization to the upper, mid, and lower level of the stratum corneum, and really to increase the hyaluronic acid content by creating instant moisturization.
So can younger generations also use Hyaluronic 7? Can someone like me use Hyaluronic 7?
Yes, I mean, I personally use it all the time. Yes, 100% of each demographic has different needs, but moisturization still remains a requested solution across the board. A lot of searches of innovative skincare actives for moisturization, like hyaluronic acid, are really tend upwards. So this is a material that has been going strong for the last couple of years and is still going to move strong. So hyaluronic acid is really not going anywhere for a while.
So now on the next slide, I wanted to highlight that Hyaluronic 7 was recently featured in Cosmetics Business as a go-to technology for skin over 50. So as we discussed here today, skin as it ages becomes dry. So keeping it moisturized is really the key to healthy skin. Yeah. So this is really exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. And then let's talk about this. So recently, Womaness is a consumer product company that recently launched this year. They have a brand assortment of about 13 products between the skincare, body care, wellness, sexual health, and incontinence. It is designed to support consumers facing perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause symptoms, including hyperpigmentation and skin elasticity. All products are consumer tested, safe, effective, and affordable. The best part about these products is they have Hyaluronic on the name, right? Featured right on the label.
On the front of the label.
Yeah, there's actually 3 products that are featuring Hyaluronic 7. This is all over body cream, and you can see Hyaluronic 7 right on the bottle.
There's a neck cream.
Oh, I love that one.
With a roller.
Yes.
So it's a cooling roller.
And there's an overnight magic or an overnight treatment also with Hyaluronic. So we're very happy to see that. So we just wanted to remind you, everyone, we have lots of formulations across all categories for skin, body, and hair. So if you're looking for any formulation or you need help formulating, just please reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you. We have amazing textures in our lab. Oh. No, I hear there's a question. I can't really see who is asking, but will Hyaluronic penetrate into the dermis layer? So right now, we have studies that it penetrates the lower molecular weight does penetrate the epidermis.
Perfect. Okay, now if we go to, so before we leave you, we wanted to give you just a small recap on each of the generations that we chatted about. So for Gen Z, they're looking for brands that are inclusive and celebrate diversity. They have information at their fingertips. They're not afraid to do research. They're loyal to doing good for the planet and looking for natural alternatives. In this section, we highlighted Colourplant Z. For millennials, we talked about Hemp, Teen Z, and PNF. So millennials are looking for ways to manage stress and remain looking young. They're tech savvy. It's easy for them to conduct research on things that they're looking for. They're interested in saving time and money. And then when we look at Gen X, they're looking for solutions to life changes. They also have high buying power, and they're looking for more positive language and tone when it comes to aging. So using words like aging well or aging healthy instead of anti-aging. So this was the second episode in a series of 4. In the coming weeks, you'll see an invite for our next webinar about indulgence, and we'll chat about the importance of sleep and the boundary between home and work. Then we'll chat about sustainability. So that's going to include clean beauty, blue beauty, anti-pollution, naturals, vegan. We're gonna get into a lot on sustainability as well. But now we wanted to see how we did today, see our new setup, what you guys thought of it. So we're gonna launch a poll. If you would please fill it out and rate us. Let us know how we did. We'll give you about a minute to do so. But we want to really thank you for being with us today. We're excited to be in the lab, to be a little bit more back to normal. So this is, you know, a way that we would like to do it in the future if we can. And if we go to the very last slide, if you have any questions at all, please email us. If we didn't get to your question today, we'll make sure that it gets answered. Also follow us on Instagram. We have a new Instagram page we'd like you to follow us on. Also LinkedIn as well. And if you have any questions, email us marketing@trik.com. So thank you for joining me, Carolina.
Yes,
this was so
you,
much
Jackie.
fun.
This was a lot of fun. So we can't wait to share, you know, our next webinar. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
And thank you so much for the comments. There's a lot of good comments here. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.